What if the reason you keep missing fast targets is because you're trying too hard to shoot them fast? Think about it. The target explodes out of the trap. Your brain panics. Your hands rush. The gun jumps. Boom. And somehow, the clay survives. Again. But one world champion discovered something completely backwards about fast targets. The smoother he moved, the slower the target seemed to become. And once he understood why that happened, he became one of the greatest clay shooters the sport has ever seen. His name was John Bidwell. 7 world titles, decades representing Great Britain, and a shooting system so effective that thousands of shooters still use it today. But here's the crazy part. His entire philosophy can be explained in just 3 words. Move, mount, shoot. Simple? Because most shooters accidentally destroy this sequence before the target has even traveled 10 feet. And once you understand why, fast crossers may never look the same again. Section 1. The moment everything goes wrong. Picture this. You call for the bird. A fast crosser flashes across the sky. Instantly, your brain screams, "Go! Go! Go!" So you snatch the gun upward. Your shoulders tense. Your eyes flick from the clay to the barrel for half a second. And that's all it takes. The shot goes behind. This is exactly what Bidwell spent years studying. Not just how shooters miss, but why. And he realized something elite shooters understand instinctively. Fast hands create slow reactions. The harder you force the gun, the more disconnected your timing becomes. That's why average shooters often look frantic on difficult targets, while elite shooters look almost relaxed. Smooth movement creates accurate timing. Chaotic movement destroys it. And Bidwell summed it up with one sentence every shooter should remember forever. The slower you move, the faster you shoot. At first, that sounds ridiculous, until you realize what he actually meant. He wasn't saying shoot slowly. He was saying smooth movement allows your brain to process speed correctly, because panic compresses perception. Calm movement expands it. That's the secret. And now we get to the system itself. Section 2. Move, mount, shoot. These 3 words sound simple, but inside them is almost everything elite shooters do naturally. Let's break it down. Move. This is where most shooters fail instantly. The clay appears, and they attack it. Bidwell hated that, because the goal is not to stab at the target. The goal is to match it. Your eyes lock onto the clay first. Hard focus. Not the barrel, not the bead, the clay. Then your muzzles begin moving with the target line. Not ahead of it, not chasing it wildly, just flowing with it. This is why Bidwell loved the low gun position, because it forces honesty. You cannot fake target reading with the gun already mounted. You must actually see the bird first. And something fascinating happens when you do this correctly. The target starts feeling slower. Not physically slower, mentally slower. Because your eyes and hands are finally synchronized instead of fighting each other. That's the first breakthrough. Mount. Now comes the part that destroys most shooters, the mount. Most people rush this phase so aggressively that the gun flies completely offline. Their cheek lifts, their shoulders tighten, their head searches for the rib. Everything falls apart. Bidwell believed the mount should feel almost effortless. The gun rises smoothly into the cheek and shoulder together. One motion, not 2. Think about catching a ball. You don't consciously calculate angles, velocity, and timing. Your body naturally organizes itself around the object. Clay shooting works the same way. Your brain already understands movement. The problem is, most shooters interrupt that natural system by trying to manually control every detail. And the faster the target gets, the worse that interference becomes. Shoot. Now comes the magic. If move and mount were correct, the shot almost feels automatic. This is where Bidwell's maintained lead system comes alive. Instead of swinging through violently at the last second, your barrels are already moving ahead naturally as the gun comes into the face. Think of merging onto a highway. You don't slam the accelerator at the final second and hope for survival. You smoothly match speed and move into position early. That's maintained lead. And when it works, something incredible happens. Your conscious brain gets quieter. The shot feels instinctive, almost effortless. Bidwell called this the X factor, the thing between the ears. Because elite shooting is not about robotic calculation. It's about trusting trained coordination. And ironically, the more desperately you try to force perfect timing, the more you destroy it. Section 3. Why elite shooters look calm. Have you ever noticed something strange? The best shooters in the world never seem rushed, even on targets that look impossible. That's not confidence. That's efficiency. Average shooters waste movement. Elite shooters remove it. That's a massive difference. Every unnecessary motion steals timing breaks. Visual focus destroys consistency. Bidwell understood that all shooting really comes down to one thing: intercepting the clay with the shot stream. That's it. Everything else is simply a method of making that happen consistently. And this leads to one of the biggest mistakes shooters make during practice. They think more shells equals more improvement. Wrong. If your technique is flawed, 200 repetitions only make the flaw permanent. Bidwell constantly repeated, perfect practice. Not random practice, focused practice, intentional practice. Because one corrected movement is worth more than 50 rushed shots. Section 4. The drills that rewire your timing. Now, let's turn this into something practical. Here are 3 drills that can completely change how you see fast targets. Drill 1. The Honest Crosser. This drill exposes whether you're actually reading the target or just reacting emotionally. Pick a medium-speed crossing bird. Start low gun. Track the clay before mounting. No rushing, no attacking. Just move. Mount. Shoot. Do this 20 times. Most shooters immediately realize something shocking. The target was never as fast as they thought. Their panic made it look fast. Drill 2. The Catch Test. Bidwell used versions of this drill in coaching for years. Have someone randomly toss a small object toward you. A coin, a glove, anything safe. Watch what your hand does. You don't consciously calculate. You react naturally. That coordination system is already inside your brain. Clay shooting is about training yourself to trust it again. Drill 3. Slow down to speed up. This one feels completely wrong, which is why it works. Take a target you normally miss. Now deliberately slow your mount down by about 20%. Not lazy, smooth, controlled. You'll probably start hitting it almost immediately. Why? Because smooth movement preserves alignment. Rushed movement destroys it. And suddenly, Bidwell's strange philosophy starts making sense. Slow creates speed. John Bidwell didn't become legendary because he had superhuman reflexes. He became legendary because he understood something most shooters never realize. Fast targets are not beaten by aggression. They're beaten by control, by rhythm, by trust. The next time a target looks impossibly quick, don't panic. Don't snatch the gun. Don't try to overpower the bird. Move, mount, shoot. And remember, the smoother you become, the slower the target begins to feel. And if you walk away with one thing from this video, let it be that quote: slow down. That's how you get faster. If this helped you, drop a like. It genuinely helps this channel reach more shooters. And let me ask you something. What target gives you the most trouble right now? Crossers? Teals? Rabbits? And tell me in the comments, which part clicked? The maintained lead? The mount freeze? The pre-shot plan? I read every one. Pick up a copy of Move, Mount, Shoot by John Bidwell. If you enjoyed this breakdown, subscribe for more deep dives into elite shooters, hidden techniques, and the psychology behind great shooting. See you on the next one.